Welcome to the team, the family night, you guys. Wednesday night is our time that we gather, we get to know each other, we meet the leaders, and just other things that may come up that we want to talk about. But tonight I have the pleasure of having Steve Yurjevich actually introduce all three of our speakers tonight. Steve has his team. I'm not one of those that likes to put one team up against another or, but it just has to be done because Steve Yurjevich's team has probably the most amount of senior management just blowing up. And so I've asked him to come on and introduce his three of his leaders tonight. So Steve, are you there?
It's off.
Steve Yurjevich.
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. Okay.
Hi.
All right. You ready to take this away?
Yeah, how's everyone? Hope everyone had a nice holiday season. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. And Steve, hey, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit and give a little bit of your background, what you've been doing the last several months, why you're with Transact Card, that'd be great. Because I think a lot of people don't know you. So
Sure. Yeah, my name's Steve Yurjevich. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I've been banging around with this thing for about, since I guess the end of May. Back when we didn't have anything but a story to tell. And boy, have we come a long way in a short period. Actually, probably since right about the end of July and August, things started to really take off. And everything that the company had said from the very beginning has come true or is progressing to that spot. So I'm really excited about all the enhancements that are being made, and some of the executive team they put together is amazing. You can just see, even in the corporate update today, that Ken has a real pulse. He has his thumb on the pulse and the beat of what this company is. You can just see it in the way he delivers the corporate update. So so I'm excited. I reached out to a lot of people when we got started. Got a lot of people that said no. People, we didn't have, like I said, we didn't have a lot to show. We didn't have videos or anything. We were just telling the story, and it's gotten a lot easier along the way. We still get the no's, but the reason we're getting people to say no is they just don't understand. This is something that's never been done before. Something that has never been attempted and never been put together or assembled. So it's foreign to people, and they just don't quite exactly understand it. But they're going to get it real soon as we continue to progress in the next coming weeks as well. So that's enough about me for the moment. I did reach out to, like I said, some people, and I'm not exactly sure. Let me see who's on here. I know Allison. We'll start with Allison tonight. I reached out to a girl I've known from a previous company, Shannon Moran, and I actually messaged her frequently, and she ghosted me for a long period of time. Her time wasn't right. She didn't want to hear it. She didn't understand as well. But I was just persistent with her, and I caught her one day. She just had enough. Maybe in her life was happening, and I reached out to her and I said, Shannon, you need to, I'm sending you a message. Please go over to your DM. I slid in her DMs, as they say. And she had reached out to some leaders and people that she knew. She said, this is gold. She said, I know gold when I see it. And it didn't take her long to see it. And since then, she started to connect groups of people, and some of these actually everybody that's coming on here is just amazing, and they're all cut from the same mold. They all get it. They're all vision driven, and they don't focus on anything but doing the day to day and adding people and their positive mentality and the way they're driving this thing. So Allison Wanjon, I want to say that right. I know Zap loves to say it as well. I thought the same thing. Wonton is, but yeah, we love the name. Allison a senior manager with our company. It is every day. It is early morning, it's midday, it's in the evening. She's always posting positive things. She's always taking the initiative to make sure that everybody gets the information. It's made it really easy to just be able to just back up a little bit and allow them to do their thing. And they call themselves the disruptors. That's exactly, it's disruptors though with capital letters, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're just flipping this thing on its heels. So this is Allison Wanjon from Oklahoma, and I'll let her take it from there, Allison.
Okay, well, like you said, my name is Allison Wanjon, and you said it right, so good job. Just think of wonton. Okay. I live in Guthrie, Oklahoma, out in the country. It's real fun. But yeah, Shannon and I were in a company together for a lot of years, and that's how we met. We actually met at like a leadership thing in the elevator and discovered that we both lived in the same town. And so I don't know if that's my camera. Sorry, it's just not good. It's fine. It's probably the lighting. So anyways, we found out we lived in the same town. So when we got back in town from that leadership retreat, we were like, let's do all our trainings together. And so even though we were sideline sisters, we started doing all of our trainings together, and basically we're like the same team, but not, and just became a family. And that's still how we roll to this day, is we really believe in just helping everybody. Doesn't matter where you fall. But everyone, there's plenty of room to succeed in this for everybody. But I have 5 kids, and I homeschool, and I'm a realtor, and I'm very busy. So there's a lot of just things going on in my life. But when Shannon brought Transact to me, I basically was like, no, I'm too busy with real estate and my family and all of those things. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to that. But it took me about a month. And then I finally was like, okay, tell me a little bit more. But I watched some of the videos in the beginning. It just didn't really click in the beginning. And so like Steve said earlier, you're probably going to have some no's right now because they don't really get it. It didn't click yet. And that's okay, because they might come back a month later and be like, okay, you're still doing this. And I will say, there are people who are watching you, whether you think they are or not. And they're probably wondering, like, is she going to stick to this? Is he going to stick to this? Are they going to quit in, 2 weeks because no one's responded, or a month because no one's responded? No, they're probably watching to see if you're going to stick with it. And then when you do, that's when they're going to come out of the woodwork and be like, I've been watching you. I haven't liked or said anything, but guess what? I want to join you, So that's just a little bit of encouragement for that, because that does happen all the time. But Colette, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I'm going to go back to my text with you. So, why I'm with Transact. So most of it is, sorry, I've got children and they're crying in the background, so that's exciting. But it's because I saw the vision. Shannon presented it to me, and I finally was like, okay, you know what? The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. I have a couple right now, and they're both real estate related. So I wanted to add another stream of income. I had been looking for something passive, but I was not wanting to do an MLM type of company again. However, this is different. This actually goes with what's going on in our world, our society. Like, we actually need to save money right now with inflation. And I am someone anyway who likes to save people money in general, or save myself money. So this really, really aligned with kind of just who I am anyway. Once I finally caught the vision and understood it. So anyway, I jumped on board, and, when people are looking at things like, this is hard right now because we don't have cards, and they're looking at all the negative sides of everything, I'm exact opposite. I'm like, man, this is exciting. We don't even have a card yet, and we're growing this thing. Like, this is crazy and awesome and fun. And there's so much potential. And I'll say too, being part of lots of different companies in the past, this corporate team is incredible. They are so transparent. They are so humble. I've just never seen any team like ours. And so you guys, we really do have an incredible corporate, I guess just team is the best word to use. It's corporate people up there, doing what they can for us. And so stick with this. If you're getting frustrated because we don't have cards yet, or because no one's liked your posts or responded to you, or if everyone said no so far, go for no. You know, I've talked about this a lot in our team as well, but this is a numbers game, you guys. If I knew that if I had to speak to, and I think these numbers are very conservative for Transact, a lot more people will say yes to Transact than for other companies. But in the past, I was part of health and wellness. And I knew that if I had to talk to 3,000 people, that 300 of those people will actually listen to what I have to say. And out of those 300 people, 30 people will probably join me. And out of those 30 people, 3 people will be rock stars. And that's all I need to change my life, their lives, and all these other people's lives. And so if you look at it like that, it's the numbers game. The more people you talk to, the easier, the more people that you'll have in your downline eventually. When I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago on vacation with my husband, I was sitting in my lounge chair next to a lady, and I started talking with her and ended up introducing her to Transact just by sitting there talking with her. She ended up being a realtor as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm a realtor. You know, I need to share with you about what I'm doing right now. It's just another stream of income. You're an entrepreneur. I'm sure you probably don't mind looking at another stream of income. And she's like, no. And anyways, was able to send her a video. So it's that easy, you guys. You just talk with people, get to know who they are, find out what they do. Sometimes they'll tell you what they do and then ask you what you do. And that's gives you an opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, I'm with this great company. I have to tell you about it. It's kind of my side gig. Maybe it's not your side gig, whatever, but it gives you the opportunity to talk to people. So you can build belly to belly too. So anyway, I'm just talking, and I'm sorry, Colette, I'm just going off on all kinds of things.
I love it. Keep going. Keep going. Because people need to hear this. And I love it. You know, people are everywhere. They're like ants. So go ahead.
Yes.
Take it.
Well, the only other thing I think I want to say is, I always think about this when it comes to this type of thing is in network marketing or just, you know, building a team type marketing, I guess, because I know we're not really considered that necessarily, but we have a compensation plan or a revenue plan. But you become like the 5 people that you're around the most. So if you guys are around people who are super negative or telling you that you can't do it, you know, that kind of thing, you need to change who you're around. You need to actually just posted that, I think yesterday, like you can't change who you're around, but you can change. I forgot what exactly said, but you guys get the gist of it. You can't change people, but you can change who you're around. That's basically the gist of that. But the other thing about that is you're also typically in the same income level as the people that you hang around. So if you're wanting to get up there in an different income level, you need to find some new friends too. So find some new friends, find the people that you want to be like, and become their friends. Be around those people. Those are the people that are going to inspire you. Oh, thank you, Michael. Yeah, you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. So actually physically change who you're around, because that will make a difference in your life. And there's one more thing I want to share, just because I think it's a really great video. I'm sure a lot of you guys have mentioned before, or ever had people mention to you before that this is a pyramid scheme, right? Because it's a pyramid. I just want to point out that corporate America is a pyramid. You've got your CEO, you've got your executives, you've got all the little people who probably have a bachelor's degree too, that are making these people at the money, these people at the top all the money. Well, there's this video, and I shared it with my son too. My son's on here as well. He's an 18-year-old, almost senior manager. He's 1 away. He's doing amazing. I'm so proud of him. But anyways, this video is called, I Still Think It's a Pyramid Scheme. It's really great. It's like 3 minutes long, and it actually shares with you what a pyramid scheme actually is and what it actually isn't. And that way you guys will have a little bit more information to explain to people when they say that. Actually, we're not. I'll tell you what one is. This is not. So anyways, that's all I have. Colette, thank you.
Thank
That's
you so
awesome.
much. Thank you, Allison. One real quick, Steve, I wanted to add to that. I always say, one of my very favorite sayings is, if you're the smartest person in the room, find a different room. And so I love all of that you had to say. Thanks so much, Allison. All right,
Yes,
Steve, take it away.
absolutely.
Allison, was that the video you're talking about? Is it the cartoon one that the
Yes. Yeah. And they're like Siri voices. Yeah. It's hilarious.
one that's so funny?
Yeah. It's really funny, but it also is very educational.
Yeah, the person doesn't get it, and then the person's it's
Yeah, they're
fantastic.
like, it's like, well, my uncle says this is a pyramid scheme. And they're like, well, would you take financial advice from your uncle? And they're like, well, no, you know, so
No, it's great.
that's it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
it right there.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's like people.
Okay, 4 minutes long, four minutes.
Yeah, the
and
character's shaking their head. It's actually hilarious because it actually does tell the story exactly. You're exactly correct.
Michael,
All
are
right,
you hearing it or you? because we couldn't hear it on this side. All right. Well, maybe we'll share it at the end.
You trying to? Yeah, we can play it after, I guess.
Okay, awesome. All right. Thanks, Allison. You're amazing. Hey,
Right.
Steve.
All right. Next up, we have Sherry Sorensen. I want to say everybody's name correctly. And Sherry came to us through, I connected DBO locally here, who connected through another relationship down, probably, sometimes they say it's not who you know, but it's who you know. It's not who you know, who they know, but it's who they know, who they know. And that's kind of seems to be what happens sometimes. Connect someone, and then Sherry Sorensen popped up. And I remember back when, I want to say maybe June-ish, late June, early July, Sherry and I we got on a Zoom with her and a couple people that she was introducing Transact Card to, and one of the girls was Christy, who actually joined us. I don't remember the other person. I think the other person was a negative Nelly at that time, but I don't know what happened at that point, and she may have joined. I'm not real sure. But Sherry Sorensen, if you can unmute yourself and come on, we'd love to hear your story. It's great to see you again.
Hi, Steve. It's so great to see you.
Happy New Year.
Yes, I heard about this in July, and I was at work. I work in the gold and silver and financial business. And one of my coworkers came into work one day and said, "Hey, my neighbor was out watering our lawn this morning, and she told me to come over. She had this green card." And he told me what the green card, it was a Transact card. She had it. And I couldn't wait to hear more. And so he and I are at work, and we find out that our boss knows about this green card and hasn't told us about it. And we immediately called him at home and told him, "Please come to the office now. We need to talk." And he didn't know why we had asked him to come to the office. We were kind of playing on him. And when he got to work, we both said, "I think you know about this Transact card. We heard something about it in the past from your mouth, but you haven't shared anything. And if you don't tell us about it right here, right now, we're going to go to David's neighbor and sign up under her today." So we pressed him. He told us about it. We couldn't believe what he had. And we both joined that day. We saw the vision and we wanted to be part of it. And consequently, we became part of Steve's team and Colette's team and started to run with it. And I can remember that I was too afraid to call my friends and relatives, totally chicken, completely shy. And I texted one of my best friends, Christy, and said, "I have something maybe that I hope you might want to know about," really sheepish, because I was afraid. And she said, "Well, yeah, tell me about it." I didn't know what to say. So I called Steve. I said, "Steve, I have a friend. Will you get on a three-way?" And from there, we launched. We got on a three-way. Christy was immediately inspired and said, "Yes." Then I called my second best friend and I said, "Hey, I have something. I don't know. I've not done this before. Can you get on a call with Steve?" And Steve got on a call with me, and that friend said yes. So though I really didn't know much, I had no time into the company, I reached out to a few people, and with the three-way calls and Steve running the whole show, and I'm sitting in the background, scared to death to talk, don't know what to say or do, it was successful. And I continued to grow my business little by little by inviting people along using the three-way calls. And it became easier. And so then I built my business from reaching out to Facebook friends on Messenger. And I was able to get enough people interested in watching the videos. And that is largely through social media, how I've reached out, introduced people, shared the videos, and then got them on three-way calls. And my favorite thing in the whole world is watching friends that I know on Facebook or I know from work who I didn't really have a strong relationship with, or maybe I would just have visited or texted or talked once a year. And now I'm surrounded by old friends that I hadn't really contacted, by new friends that I just met. And we're becoming a family. And I'm watching one of my friends, Christy, she got in and she says, I finally have hope again and zest and a reason to look forward to the day. It's brought a whole new life into her world. My other really good friend who came on with Steve in the call, he loves doing fundraisers, and he has been passionate about bringing on individuals that he is in the fundraiser business, and they're looking forward to doing more of the Go program down the road, but he has built out his organization beautifully. And I think the thing that Transact has been is such a bright light and inspiration in the lives of those that I am partnering with. I feel like I have a whole new family, a whole new purpose, and we're going somewhere. We're on this train and it's going somewhere. And it's exciting to be part of something that has such a strong vision, but above all, it's humanitarian opportunity where we can say, we have something to give you. If you get a card, you're going to be getting and receiving help and hope and resources and increasing your income over time. And we find in my group and team that gift of hope after such many years of struggle recently has been our motivation and why we're here. And that opportunity to just kind of be reborn and have friends again and have community again and get on calls. I even had one friend who called me on Saturday and she said, I am going to lunch with some friends at Olive Garden. Will you come with us? I want you to speak to the group at the table about Transact. She's a DBO. And so no one would have invited me out to lunch in the past to do something like that. That's been kind of a brand new and exciting activity. And so I can't say enough good about it. I just want to share one more thing. I have a couple friends that are unemployed over the past year from things out of their hand, and they got on board, became DBOs, and they have organizations under them, and they aren't just looking for a job. They've gotten past that experience and that conversation to, I'm a business owner and I'm building a business. And so it's given them dignity and respect, and they have a very bright, exciting project with this Transact card in their own lives. It's been quite a revival emotionally and physically for them to have such a beautiful thing to wrap their heart around, their life around, and their future. So that's my story.
Beautiful, Sherry. And yes, Sherry has just gone to town with this, you guys. It's like she talks to everyone about this, all of her friends and family, and it's just been a pleasure working with you, Sherry. So thank you so much for coming on tonight. You're gonna just rock it. Steve.
Awesome. Okay, well, we heard from a few of our superstar ladies, and I'd like to also at this time introduce one of our male counterparts who has taken a group and dubbed themselves Team YO, which stands for Wyoming. If you look in the list of names here, his name is Dogan. It's spelled Dogan, but I guess it could be misconstrued as Dogan, or it could be said many different ways. But the way I say it is how I was told to say it is Dewan Gundas is his name. And Dewan came through me through the same person that connected through Star, a girl on my team. But I do want to tell you a quick story. Dewan was got into this thing, and he was very green to everything. He just wanted to learn and know, and he had lots of questions early on. He wasn't sure. He was kind of trying to feel his way around and figure things out. But he never stopped from the very beginning. He was bound and determined to hit manager, because we expressed what being manager would be. He would get his rebate. This is back in the rebate time. So he worked. We did calls. We connected people. He had people in his living room. We would do Zooms where we would present to people. They would have people over. They do potlucks. I'm not going to tell you his whole story. I'll let him tell you what they've done. But when he did hit manager, I asked him for a picture that I wanted to post, because I wanted to spotlight him in our group. And he sent me a picture of him and his entire family. And they all had flannel shirts on and cowboy hats on in Wyoming. They were up in, I don't know if there's what you call them, a prairie, or what you guys call it, the Wyoming beautiful scene that was out there. Was it desert? What is it?
It's the High Plains Desert of Wyoming.
The High Plains Desert of Wyoming. A beautiful picture of him and his family. And I took the picture and I cropped it in and put it in the spotlight. And I instantly posted it, and I just started seeing a bunch of people liking and commenting. That one hit me differently, because I looked at it and saw this family, and this man who took charge of his family unit and decided, and he worked and didn't give up. He asked questions. He was persistent, and that made me emotional. And I reached out to our friend Star, our mutual friend, who actually connected him, and I said, "Man, this one hit me." And I got super emotional, and told her, I said, I started crying. I said I was moved by this family who out in Wyoming took a leap of faith, and they built this Team YO. And Team YO, I'll let them tell you what they're doing. But anyway, Star, who has a relationship with our co-founder, Peter Rancy, had told him that I got emotional, and I got a phone call about an hour later from Park City, Utah, and it was Peter Rancy. And he called me and he just said, "Hey, I want to congratulate you on the work that you're doing, and how your team's growing and your commitment." And then he said to me, "You do realize now that this is not about the money." And I think that resonated something in my brain. He said it again. He said, "You do realize, Steve," in his Australian accent, "that this is not about the money. It's about what it's going to do for people, and how we're going to be able to change people's lives." So with that, I'd like to introduce Dewan, my man from Team YO.
Wow, Steve, you're making me emotional now.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
So I before I even Colette texted me and said, "Tell us a little about yourself and how you're involved with Transact Card and why." So yeah, I'll add this in. It's because of Steve's patience with me. I read every single document, every single word, kept calling, kept asking, kept interrogating, kept doubting, and Steve kept answering and kept answering. And it's because of Steve and his persistency is part of the reason. And here's my lovely wife, Christy. It's from her compass direction in our family that helps keep me on track. I'm just spinning my wheels everywhere, but my wife is the compass. So you saw my wife. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. We have 5 children, all different ages, from 8 up to 24. I'm a middle school math teacher. I'm a coach. I'm a referee. we're homeschool parents. My wife does everything at the home and parenting. And we're from New Hampshire originally. We moved to Wyoming because of health reasons. But first and foremost, what we are is that we're believers in Christ. And that's a huge part of our motivation. So, our mission as a couple, as a family, my wife and I, Kristen, have known each other for 9 years. Before we got married, we were involved in ministries together. And our mission together as a couple was to bring the good news of salvation through Jesus and freedom from spiritual and literal slavery, to bring relief, respite, hope to anyone in need, anyone that's suffering. And that was our heart for people, for humanity. And like I said, we had some health struggles that came upon us. We became financially enslaved after losing our health and possessions and finances from mold and heavy metal toxicity. On a teacher's salary, even working 70 hours a week with coaching and repping, we still couldn't get out of debt and still can't. We can't make ends meet because of our situation. But then we were introduced to Transact Card through our dear friend and Levita ministry partner, Kristen Starr, who told us about it. And after a few months, she told my wife, and my wife instantly got it. And then she told me, and I was just too busy to listen. And when I finally read every word of every document, because we trust Kristen, and her parents and her family are very frugal and very honest and incredible investigators. I have to say this about Kristen. When she first heard about it, Steve, she called Peter Ramsey. She found his number, called him directly, and grilled him. That's our Kristen Starr. And it's her research that I trusted. So I saw the revenue plan, I saw the mission of the company, and I said, this makes sense, and it's too good to be true. So how can it really work? And because we know Kristen, we trusted her, because we talked to Steve a lot with all our doubts, and he kept teaching us, because we're green. We're not market level, multi-level marketers. We're not direct salespeople. And Steve was teaching us, in ways that we understood it. Then I was really convinced after meeting Colette virtually. She did a call with us, a virtual call with us, and then meeting Peter personally. That really got me in, and then I was totally committed after seeing and hearing the heart of Peter, Jared, and the rest of the leadership team at the launch. Hearing them was what really committed.
Duan, I didn't mean to interrupt. Can you tell them what happened when Peter Ramsey actually came to visit you?
All right, Christy, you want to tell this part? No, okay, she's being shy. So, okay, all right, I'll start here. So, Kristen Starr, who was talking to Peter, he was doing his cross-country trip, connecting, finding other bank affiliates, and he's traveling back to Utah from the East Coast, and he's talking to Kristen, and he started listening to the radio, to a John Denver song, Country Roads, and he just starts getting lost in his driving and enjoying the scenery. Next thing he knows, he's off track from going directly home, and it turns out he wound up on a track going by our town, Green River, Wyoming. And so Kristen's talking to him, and he said he's off track, and she said, you know what? My friends are in Green River, Dawn and Christy. And he said, where are they? And Kristen texts me and said, hey, are you up for a visit? And we said, by who? She said, Peter. I said, okay. Within an hour, he's at our doorstep. And how do I describe Peter? He's just
just real.
He's just real, and he's we got to meet one of his daughters and his grandkids, and he's like a grandfather to everybody, is the sense I get.
Yeah.
You know, my father, who that's a whole nother story, was like a Peter. He just had a way with befriending people, supporting people, helping people be who they are. And Peter came and he didn't tell us anything about Transact Card. He just wanted to know us. He just came to visit. And he gave us a gift, and we gave him hugs and prayed for him and for the mission of Transact Card. And that was it. It was a family, you know, and I think it was Sherry that said it. It's a family. It really is. It's a team. It's a family. It's a togetherness. It surpasses normal boundaries in business.
It is too good to be true.
Yeah, it is too good to be true. You know, I still tell my family that, and they're still skeptical. But in time, they'll see it. We just have to be patient. So that's how we partnered with the family of Transact Cards. You know, first because we believe in the vision and mission. You know, we believe in what Peter, Richard, Jared, the rest of the leadership team are about. You know, the heart of giving, like they said at the launch, their heart of service. You know, being an agent of change, changing the world. You know, being a deliverer of relief and respite and freedom for those that are oppressed. You know, we believe in the goals, the financial freedom, the teaching of financial literacy, disrupting monopolies that are destroying our country. They're keeping people enslaved to government support. That's not the American way. That's not capitalism. Supporting small and local businesses and institutions. You know, that's what Transact Card is out to do. So that's why we're in it. You know, our goal is to follow the mission and vision that Peter and Richard and Jared and the rest of the team have set before us. We believe in them. And our goal is to, you know, personally, our goal is to help the church to be free to be what the church is supposed to be. You know, to heal the sick, free the slaves, cleanse the lepers, even raise the dead. We are spiritually dead. We are health-wise dead. And we need a revival. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Dawn. That's awesome. That's great. Nice seeing you again, Christy.
Yeah, I need to step in here for a minute because this was amazing. And you guys, this is the first call that we've really actually, Steve and I have allowed ourselves, I guess, to share that we do have a very close relationship with Peter, and Dewan and Christy. I got to share in that, and that's so fantastic. That story is just amazing, and it just shows the heartbeat. And I share this so many times of on my presentations, and when I went out to the VP event, and it was all about heart, and that's why I aligned with them so much, and really said, this is where I'm going to plant my flag. And just same with Steve. Steve has had a great relationship with Peter because of Star. We were just so blessed to have Star on our team, and it was meant to be. I truly believe that it was meant to be, and it would have been that way no matter what. And I just love this story. I love this family, and that's why we chose Z Family as that's literally my sign up link is Z Family. And then so thank you so much for coming on and sharing that story, because it gives this whole team that oneness that we are, and all of us together. And so I really appreciate you guys sharing. I appreciate Sherry sharing, and Allison as well. It's just so incredible to meet all of you and give everyone the stage, because I believe that's how we're going to build and grow and become leaders, right? I mean, many of you are already leaders, and I love that we're bringing on leaders, and I want to give them the stage as well too, because we're a family here. I'm not a dictator by any means, and my business partner Michael is not either. And it's just such a wonderful thing that we have here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And Steve has done an amazing, incredible job of just building. The guy works nonstop, and he is so selfless. And I just appreciate you so much, Steve, and thank you for everything you've done. And you do have one of the the fastest growing teams, I truly believe, in this company right now, just growing and attracting some of the best leaders that are out there. So I applaud you. I appreciate you. And I thank each and every one of you guys for coming on and believing in us and believing in this endeavor that we have, this journey that we have in our hands. And let's not take it lightly. Let's take it out to everyone we know. Steve, do you have anything you want to close with?
Yeah, thank you, Colette, for the kind words. Yeah, I just want to say that if everyone who's on here tonight, and I hope everyone gets the recording as well, I just want everybody to recognize that everybody here is just real, and we're all at the core just real people, all capturing a vision and just wanting to tell a story and share something amazing. And whenever you do dig in and stay plugged in, like we talked about, and you do over time, you'll get to see more and more of. You only have to see Peter Rancy speak one time, and if you do that, you get it all the way. Because and the one thing I truly really like about this company is that if you have a big ego, you're probably not going to last here, because the leadership council and everybody there doesn't have egos, and you probably wouldn't mesh well with that, and you wouldn't be comfortable in this environment. So just, you have to do this at your pace and what's comfortable for you. Fast is fun. It is true. Fast is fun. We have a lot of tools. We have a lot of things going to happen in the coming weeks that are going to accelerate and make things a lot faster, and be able to share the truth. And the truth is good enough with what we have here. Just keep on the truth. You don't have to hype it. We don't have to dangle carrots in front of everybody. The promotions are great, but the truth is good enough. What we have here is what we have here, and what we're going to do is what we're going to do. And it's going to happen with us, without us. Time won't wait for anybody, and 2024 is going to be amazing. So I can't wait to hug everybody in San Antonio or wherever the next event is.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve, for that. And we're going to rock this, you guys. So let's take this to everyone we know and not hold it to our hearts. Let's take it out and share our hearts with people. So thank you guys all. We'll see you Saturday morning. Trish is going to teach, and Michael and I will be teaching on the corporate call Saturday morning. So we'll see y'all then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks.